Okay. Hello
Hello.
again. My name's Maria, as you know, and this is Kayla.
Yeah, hi, I'm Kayla. That was weird.
So in today's episode, we have to discuss Canterbury Tales, and we are discussing the topic of femininity.
And while doing so, Canterbury Tales takes place in, it was written in the 14th century, so we will be doing our makeup, well, Maria's makeup, like 14th century, which will be very interesting. Here it is. Okay. So to start off, makeup in that time was like super like minimal. They used to basically look as featureless as possible. Like they would pluck their hairlines to be super high up, like they wanted like very large foreheads. We're not gonna do that to her today because that sounds extremely painful and more permanent than I'm sure anybody would like. Then they would also shave off their eyebrows and pluck out their eyelashes. They just basically want like no color on their face at all.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention how they wanted no blemishes or freckles. They would actually try to take the freckles out with bull blood, or they would also put vinegar with oatmeal in their face to try to get rid of their freckles.
Yeah, so basically what we're gonna do is, because they wanted to be like super pale, like they wanted to look like babies basically, so we are going to take just a straight up white powder and put that all over Maria's face, and that is gonna be the base. Like, we're not gonna make you look like my shirt white though, because that is, first of all, like a little impossible without regular face paints that I don't have. Oh, the table is shaking. That's weird. Anyway, so we have the James Charles Morphe palette here, and we're just taking the white shade and going to put that just everywhere, which is gonna take a bit because we want to build that up. So basically the way makeup was described in terms of femininity at the time is that, yeah, we're gonna just straight up cover your eyebrows too. Basically you wanted to wear enough makeup that your husband wouldn't be attracted to any other women around that he would see in like church or on the street, but you shouldn't be wearing enough makeup that any other man would be interested in you at all, which is a very difficult standard to achieve. How do you wear makeup but no makeup at the same time, especially with the lack of makeup resources back in the day? So we are going to just cancel out all of your features. No contouring today, no concealer, just white powder to ruin everything. Pretend your face does not really exist. You are wearing a mask.
And to tie that into like social order or femininity, church had a say in like the women's lives and what they could do or couldn't do. That's why they didn't have to wear like scandalous makeup.
Yeah, back in the day, basically up until the 1900s, wearing, like the later 1900s, I'm talking like the 70s area is when that started, like this stopped being an idea, but wearing like too much makeup was basically something that you would only do if you were a prostitute. And it was very, very shameful to wear crazy amounts of makeup. You did not want to be seen if you were. Otherwise, just all of the church ladies would hate your existence and think you're the town whore.
And that's why I think the wife of Bath from the Canterbury Tales. She was very controversial because she had many husbands. She didn't really care about her appearance. They mentioned that she had a mole, that she wasn't really attractive. So I think that said a lot about
basically
how she was rebellious against the church and how she stood by her. Like, she was still feminine, although she didn't wear so much makeup, because she didn't try to hide her imperfections. If you say they're imperfections, she's not really an imperfection. It's just the way she was born.
So we're literally still just taking this white powder and just canceling out Maria's features, because that is basically all they would do, and we're not gonna just completely erase your eyebrows. See, look at that. Isn't that an interest? Isn't that a look? Isn't that lovely? And the next thing they would do is they would take, I'm just gonna take just little like thin brushes here, you know, see, super tiny, and they would take blue powder. Usually they would get these pigments from like plants and stuff. They would get the white powder, not like white powder, but they would use like chemical type things. That was super dangerous, but they would use that to create this like super white look. So the next thing they would do is they would take blue pigment of some kind and basically draw veins in. Like, you see, you know, when you look at your wrist and you see the veins through it, like that's what they wanted their face skin to look at. Like, yeah, you see like that? You can't see that, but you get the idea. If you look at your wrist, then you can usually see your veins. So they wanted their skin to look basically translucent, like so pale that you could see through it, like 1-ply toilet paper. So we are going to just draw some squiggly lines to look like veins with this super thin brush. Like, you want to look sickly and dying. And we're not gonna do them too dark, because that's not human. Like, that's not possible for people to have just dark blue lines on their face. But it needs to look enough like regular veins, basically. And these were pretty much the only step. There's only one other step after this, besides, again, the just ripping out of eyebrows and eyelashes that we're not doing today, because that, again, sounds very painful, and I don't think YouTube would allow us to show us plucking out someone's eyelashes. I feel like that might be disturbing enough to get taken down. And we don't want that.
But this is what they saw as beauty, like back in the days.
Back in the days, yes. Very interesting. Let me just get your other side. Just little lines like that. They don't need to look super realistic. What even are veins? Like that. And then lastly, they would take just regular like some sort of like reddish pigment. If I could find the brush I need, that'd be cool, to do their lipstick. So they would usually take like some kind of like reddish pink kind of pigment to do lips. So we're again just gonna take an orange eyeshadow. And I promise you won't get poisoned from this.
Not like before, they would use lead.
Yeah, they would
their makeup.
literally get like lead poisoning from their foundation. This is all skin safe because we have the technology for that now. and it's amazing. And the top lip. And then we're almost done. They'd basically just chew on berries to get this look.
Like the tint look.
Yeah. Like, you know when you eat too many cherries and your lips turn red? Like, that's basically what they would do. Just eat berries. Okay, and this is it. This is a pretty general recreation of what makeup looked like back in the 14th century. I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you so much for watching.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified every time we post a video. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.